Time flies and a brand new week full of money bonuses and discounts has landed in GTA 5 Online. This weekly update runs from April 24th to May 1st. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss this kind of video, which drops every single week here on the channel, covering the latest weekly update. Let's dive in. So, no discounts on properties this week, but we did get a bunch of service vehicles on sale, which is not very common. Let's start with the Mobile Operations Center. This week is 30% off, dropping its base price with no modifications from $1.2 million down to $857,000. However, to actually use it beyond just driving it around, you'll need to add some upgrades. There are 3 bays, and the only upgrade I recommend installing is the Weapon and Vehicle Workshop, which will use 2 bays. But to even own a MOC, you'll first need to buy a bunker. If you don't have one yet, go to Maze Bank Foreclosures and select bunkers. The cheapest one costs $1.1 million, or it's free for some players, but honestly, it's a terrible location if you want to run the bunker business. For the MOC itself, location doesn't really matter, but still, the bunkers I recommend are the Chumash and Farmhouse bunker. Pick the one that fits your budget or your preference. Once you have the bunker, your MOC will be stored there. You can also customize it inside, apply armor, performance upgrades, liveries, some of which are also 30% off this week, so definitely take advantage of that as well. Now, what does the MOC actually do? Well, first of all, if you install the Weapon and Vehicle Workshop, you can customize most of your special vehicles, especially armored vehicles that can be customized at a regular mechanic. You can also convert Pegasus vehicles like the Insurgent pickup into personal vehicles and mod them right there. You can even customize your weapons inside the MOC. Yes, there are other free weapon workshops in the game like the Freak Shop, but since this one comes packed with the Vehicle Workshop, it's super convenient. Also, if you use special ammo like explosive rounds, which you can't buy from the interaction menu, instead of going to the agency, arcade, freak shop or whatever, you can just call in your MOC anywhere on the map and restock from there. Super handy. The MOC also gives you access to a set of missions, which are also paying out double money in RP. This can't be done solo, so yeah, you'll need a friend. But they're actually fun and they unlock trade prices for certain vehicles, which is always a win. Now let's talk about the cab itself. It's one of the best armored vehicles in the entire game. I don't know why, it can take about 69 homing missiles, I'm pretty sure, before blowing up, which is just insane. Overall, it's a great vehicle with great features, but honestly, the Avenger is better overall. So I'd say if you're just starting out, this probably isn't something you should invest in this week or yet. So save your money for other essential stuff first. Moving on to the second service vehicle on our list, we have the Terabyte. You can grab this beast from WARTSTOCK with a 30% discount this week, and the only upgrades you should really invest in are the Weapon Workshop if you don't already have one at another property in the game, and the Specialized Workshop, which is used to customize your Oppressor Mark II. If you don't have the Oppressor Mark II yet, you need this, and if you have an Oppressor Mark II, you need this to upgrade it and even equip missiles or countermeasures. Also, if you don't have one yet, I highly recommend buying the Terabyte before you get the Oppressor, because with the Terabyte, not only you'll be able to customize the Oppressor, but you can also unlock the trade price, saving you $2 million. To unlock the trade price, you'll need to go to the touchscreen and complete 5 client jobs, which will also earn you an extra $100,000 this week as part of the weekly challenge. The Terabyte also lets you access hangar source missions, special and vehicle cargo source missions, bunker resupply missions, and biker supplies directly from the touchscreen. Additionally, if you upgrade through the Garment Factory and equip a Master Control Terminal, which is also on discount this week for just $350,000, which you absolutely need to take advantage of this week, you'll be able to manage most of the businesses in the game from there, like the hangar, warehouses, MC businesses, nightclub, and even the bunker. This feature is also available at the arcade, so if you already have it there, I'm not sure if it's worth buying again. The only real advantage is that you can access it anywhere on the map whenever you want. Besides the Master Control Terminal, you can also upgrade it with other features through the Garment Factory like the Collectible Scanner, Silent Running, and Missile Lock-on Jammer. And last but not least, the third and final service vehicle on our list is the Brigade 6x6, aka the Acid Lab, with a 30% discount as well. This week is going for just $1,015,000, which isn't expensive at all. But still, I recommend doing the first dose missions if you don't have the Brigade yet. If you're feeling lazy, this is definitely the time to buy it, but I wouldn't fully recommend it. The Brigade itself is a really solid vehicle. It has amazing armor, can withstand up to 48 homing missiles or RPGs before blowing up, as long as you have the armor plating upgrade, which you can apply at your freak shop, which is just insane. You can drive around in public lobbies and you won't have any trouble. Nobody's going to hit you with 48 homing missiles, so yeah, it's pretty safe. Besides being a great vehicle, it can also be equipped with one of the best businesses in the game, the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab works just like other semi-passive businesses, but I'm not going to dive deep into that in this video. What I will say is that this week, the resupply missions for the Acid Lab are giving double the supplies, and the production time is also doubled, meaning you're essentially making the same money in half the time, which is basically double money. Additionally, the Acid Lab installation itself is also 30% off, meaning you'll save $250,000, which is a pretty solid deal too. I won't go too deep into the Acid Lab because I actually released a full video just yesterday explaining you how to make millions super fast this week, so if you're interested, go check that one out. Overall, the Brigade is a very solid vehicle, amazing armor, it can fit the second best passive business in the game in the back of it, and it's just amazing. Moving on to the first car on our list this week, we have the Trafade Nero, once again with a 30% discount. You can grab this thing for just over $1 million, which is a decent deal. Now, it's not the best car in the game, but it's definitely a very solid vehicle. The handling and acceleration are great, the top speed isn't anything special, but it's okay for the old gen. On new gen though, it might not feel as impressive because of the HSW upgrades. As for customization, unfortunately, it doesn't have many options, but you can turn the Nero into a Nero custom through pennies for $600,000. It's a bit expensive, but if you're into it, it's an option and gives you a bit more customization options. In terms of looks, the default Nero is also really clean, and it's definitely one of my favorite cars visually in the game. I think it looks fantastic. Overall, I absolutely love this car. It's really fun to drive around. At first, it gave me a heavy vibe, I'm not sure why, but once I got behind the wheel, I was surprised. Whether or not you choose to turn it into a custom is up to you. I personally think the default Nero looks really good too, so it's a matter of preference. In terms of performance, I'm not sure, but the custom felt better. I would highly recommend buying the Nero this week, especially if you're not a complete beginner. If you're just starting out though, you might want to prioritize other purchases like the service vehicles I mentioned earlier. And in 5th place on our list, we got the Dubachi Massacro coming in at only $385,000 from the test track vehicles. It's a cheap car with somewhat mid-level customization, I gotta say. There are even a good number of things you can change, but not many options for those things. For example, the exhaust has only one option, the fenders also have just one, 3 hoods, 4 skirts and spoilers. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not anything special either. So yeah, one thing you should keep in mind is that you can't remove this livery. In terms of performance, it's actually really good for the price, with a good acceleration, top speed, handling and decent brakes too. For this price, I'd say it's one of the best options in the game. The only downside I'd mention is that it feels kinda heavy, I guess, and it slides around a bit sometimes, but nothing that will cause you too much trouble. Also, it's a removed vehicle, so think carefully before passing up on this opportunity, because it won't always be available. Moving on to the few honorable mentions this week, starting with the LS Car Meet Prize Ride, we have the Lampadati Tropos Rally, which is a relatively good car, and this week you have no excuse not to collect it. All you need to do is finish in top 3 in any LS Car Meet race. There are no consecutive day requirements, and getting in a top 3 is really easy, so yeah, go get that. Since it's a prize ride that's actually quick to get, I even collect it for the video so I could talk a bit more about it. Customization wise, there's not much to be honest, but it has a decent amount of liveries. Now, whether the liveries are good, that's a whole nother story. It handles pretty well, is lightweight, has good acceleration and an okay top speed. It's surprisingly really glued to the ground. The only thing it struggles with a bit is going uphill or on steeper roads. It's fun to drive and it also looks funny. For the minimal effort you have to put in, I think it's definitely worth grabbing this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. On the casino podium this week, we have the Albany Cavalcade XL, which is a cool car, looks good, but nothing crazy in terms of performance. So yeah, go ahead and try to win it. I have to be honest, we didn't have many good discounts on other vehicles, for example on Legendary Motorsports or even Southern San Andreas, so our list of honorable mentions ends here this week. Now I'm just going to quickly recap some of the things we got this week. I'm not sure if I should start doing this every week, so let me know down in the comments. Starting with the money bonuses of the week, we have double money NRP on the black box file, mobile operations missions, terabyte clan jobs, fully gun jobs, and deadline, which is a returning adversary mode. We also have 2x supplies for the acid lab resupply missions and 2x acid lab production speed, as I mentioned earlier. As for the gun van, this week we have the L Strickler battle rifle with a 50% discount, stun gun, combat shotgun, Gusenberg sweeper, vintage pistol, and the nightstick. For throwables, we've got grenades, sticky bombs, and pipe bombs, along with all the usual body armor. This week's regular time trial is Rockford Hills, the RC Bandito time trial is Little Seoul, the Junk Energy time trial is East Vinewood, and the regular time trial is Textile City. In the garment factory, we've got the black box file as the priority file, which is also paying double money, so I highly recommend doing this one this week. $620,000 in like 25 minutes, it's pretty sweet. At the salvage yard, we've got the Dinka Blista Kanjo for completing the podium robbery, the Dubachi Champion for completing the McTony robbery, and the Zaruso for the Gangbanger robbery. None of these are collectible though. And that's it. We actually got a tons of money bonuses this week. We didn't get a lot of good discounts to be honest, but they weren't terrible, so I think we can say this was a good week. Let me know in the comments what you think about this week, what you're planning to buy or invest in, and if I should start doing this brief weekly update summary for you guys every single week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like to help me out and consider joining the family so you don't miss videos like this every single week. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.